All right, moving on. This is an email from Toast in Gainesville, Florida.
What's up, Toast?
He emailed us at the email address gamescoop@ign.com, just like you can. And he says, Fire Emblem Fates comes out this weekend, and I could not be more excited. Sam's playing it.
Yeah, I love it.
Me too.
I need to play some of it. But you weren't just crazy about it, I heard.
Well, I like.
Okay.
It takes a long time to get into.
Yeah.
Toast says, I love the Fire Emblem series. I've been playing it since the Sacred Stones on GBA. However, I've always considered the Fire Emblem series an underrated game, considering most of my friends who own or have owned Nintendo consoles have never played a Fire Emblem game. After doing some reading, I noticed that the only Fire Emblem game to break 1 million in sales was Awakening for 3DS. In my opinion, the Fire Emblem series is a franchise that deserves more credit and attention. What are some game series, AAA or otherwise, that deserve more attention than they get? Now, first of all, what do you guys think about the term underrated? Because to me, that would sound like a game that's not rated as highly as it should be, meaning review scores.
Yeah,
and Fire Emblem games
as
are well
opposed to
reviewed.
obscure.
Yeah.
Or just unknown.
Or games that are rated well but don't sell well.
Yeah, I think he's discussing more like a Community, the TV series situation. Critically beloved, not particularly commercially successful.
What's the word for that?
Unknown or
overlooked.
Overlooked
is pretty good.
Yeah,
Okay.
So. But overlooked.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of the issue with any underrated game discussion is that then you get bogged down. You end up talking more about you parsing what underrated means. Like, oh well, it got good scores, but not as good as it should have gotten. Or like, here's a game that's a 7 out of 10, but the reviews were a 4 out of 10, and it's still not great, but it didn't deserve to get panned
He also brought
as badly
sales
as it
into
did.
it too.
And people
Which is
focus
a whole
more on
other
that.
way to judge a game.
Yeah, and they focus more on that than they do the actual quality of the game.
Yeah, when Wind Waker came out, it was, I think, underrated in the critical sense in some places.
Yeah.
People were griping about this game. That has changed. That narrative has changed over time, and people realize this game was amazing. But it was probably underrated in a critical sense, even though it was commercially successful.
People finally came to their senses.
Yeah, exactly. And likewise, there's been a kind of a retcon of something like Twilight Princess, which received wonderful reviews, and now everybody's Twilight Princess isn't so good. Those people are wrong.
Well, I'm actually not sure that Wind Waker was too. I mean, it was commercially successful in the sense that it's a Zelda game, but I don't. I mean, I feel like they immediately swung back around to realistic Zelda.
And it's because the GameCube audience wasn't as large as for previous Nintendo.
22 million units sold, I think, for the GameCube.
So Fire Emblem specifically, like that game just wasn't like it wasn't a localized series until after we kind of got the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Like that's a long time to wait.
Yeah.
It was out on NES.
Yeah, that's true.
So you got to think every other Nintendo series is like building fans and cred for a decade and a half before that one.
Advance Wars.
Yeah.
And I will say Fire Emblem is a good franchise, but it's no Advance Wars.
I like them both, but yeah, I'd probably give it a slight edge.
No, I'm just trolling with that.
It is a turn-based. It is a turn-based strategy game, which
Not for everybody.
Isn't not for everyone. It's not the most popular genre. People don't always have the patience to wait for the computer to take their turn. They don't. It takes a lot of forethought and planning to not lose your.
There's a steep learning curve for games like Fire Emblem, so they're not immediately accessible, which is like kind of what we all love about Nintendo. Couch games, immediately accessible, hard to master.
Yeah.
Like it's only one of those things. It's just hard to master.
I mean, Fire Emblem is not. It might be the most. I guess I need to think about it. I don't want to say it definitively. It's one of the most hardcore franchises that Nintendo makes. Like, I'm playing that game. Well, first of all, what trips me up about the new one is that it says the difficulties are normal, hard, or like super hard.
Insane.
Is that what it's called? And like, I was gonna do normal, but then it says it's for beginners.
Yeah. It's like, well, I'm not a beginner.
And like, I'm not a beginner, but I don't know that I really want to.
I thought that was strange too.
And so I started playing on hard, and that game's not effing around. Like, I'm not a scrub at strategy games, and I've S ranked every Advance Wars map, and like hard.
That was probably a poor description.
Yeah, hard will totally kick your butt.
Is it harder than Awakening was?
Well, on hard, it's as hard as Awakening, but we all played Awakening on normal.
I also think, I mean, in my memory, like I don't have like a direct one-to-one comparison. I'm struggling more with this than I was with Awakening.
And I'm not, because I'm playing it on normal.
Like, I might need to.
It feels the same. Like I'm getting my characters killed and resetting my system a lot.
Yeah.
Which you don't have to do anymore if you choose another way. You can just choose not to let that happen.
Does normal have permadeath?
They all do if you want it to. You have two options, difficulty and permadeath. And you get to choose. And then you have a third option of what campaign you play.
Fire Emblem's not Fire Emblem without the permadeath on.
Yeah.
Well, all it does is just make you reset it. In the other version, you don't have to reset it.
Yeah, that's like playing mail order monsters
You still have to beat the level.
with permadeath and then popping your disc out of the Commodore before your character dies. Yeah, but it's permadeath.
I know what monster in my pocket
It's
is.
rebooting something. It's rebooting a game so that you can save your creature or your beloved character from imminent demise.
But what are some examples of overlooked games?
Oh, there we go. This is a fun one.
That's like all we talk about in the office.
Oh man.
Okay.
It's the permanent
all the games that we like.
Okay. The Guardian Legend. A wonderful.
You're gonna do a list.
Oh, absolutely. Guardian.
That's an NES
for
game.
NES.
Yeah, Guardian Legend for NES.
I was only bringing that up because we talked about the music the other day, and he made me watch videos of it, and that game does look interesting.
I think it's available on Steam, and it was on mobile. I think they pulled it off the App Store. Guardian Legend. No. Space Chem. I think is Space Chem. CHEM.
I haven't played that.
It's probably the most brilliant puzzle game I've ever played in my life.
Wow.
It is.
Just said that about The Witness.
Well, it's way up there. They're both some of my favorite games ever made. Although they couldn't be more different. The crazy thing about Space Chem is that it's a puzzle. Each level's a puzzle, but instead of figuring out what the solution to the puzzle is, you have to invent the solution to the puzzle.
Whoa!
So it's chemistry. There's no actual chemistry involved in the game, but it's chemistry themed. So it gives you, these molecules, and you have to turn them into these molecules.
You're not selling me on this game.
It sounds like the Gabriel Knight mustache puzzle.
No, but
This is a Space Chem. What's
really cool.
What's the MailChimp guy you like the best?
use a MailChimp.
Use a Space Chem.
No,
I like him more than the MailChimp girl.
What's this on? Is this
It's a Steam. It's a PC game.
PC game. Okay.
And so that's what makes it so brilliant is there's not one solution to a puzzle. You just have to use, the little tools and widgets to either combine or break apart these molecules in different ways. And you build up the solution to the puzzle in stages.
When was this game released?
2011, maybe 12.
So we got Space Chem and Guardian Legend.
I like the Twinkle Star Sprites. Have you ever played that?
No, I think you made that one up.
No, Twinkle Star Sprites is fantastic. That's a two-player competitive shooter.
What have I done?
It's such a neat idea.
3 hours later,
it's one of those vertical scrolling shooters, but it does the thing where you're playing Tetris against your enemy, where you screw up their side of the screen when you do good. So you're playing a shooter, and then as you're competing with the other person by dumping crap on their side of the screen by doing good things on your side, and vice versa. But instead of being a puzzle game that does that, it's a really cool reactive vertical scrolling shooter. That's a wonderful game that's often overlooked. That's all the Monster World games. I think those are great. Wow, this is
Wonder Boy and Monster World.
And this Monster World 4 and some of the things that came out of that series.
Again, these are all things we just talked about last week.
So,
thoroughly.
All of these? Are these all ones we talked about?
Remember we had Monster World?
We didn't talk about Twinkle Star Sprites, did we?
No, I never heard of that game. I still think you made that one up.
No, that's a great Waku Waku 8. That's a really good one. That's just awesome.
It's up to you to guess which games that Jared's making up right now.
These are all real.
Okay, yeah, I know, but the topic isn't really name the most obscure good game you can.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got very excited.
No, I'm enjoying this immensely.
What does Sam think an overlooked game is?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm just happy listening to Jared talk a little bit.
What was the game that we gave a 3 to that everyone on the internet loves?
Well, that's a different topic.
Deadly Premonition.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's not even the one I was thinking of.
God
That action game. Yeah, God Hand.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, there's that one too.
Yeah,
I'm not supporting those games. I'm
We get
just saying.
savaged for our God Hand review.
Yeah.
We do. The Deadly Premonition deserved the 3, but is also awesome. Both of those things are true.
Remember Odama?
I do remember Odama. I liked Odama.
I
with
liked Odama
the
too.
microphone.
I feel like this is the second time Odama has come up on
A
Game
pinball microphone army management game.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
I played a lot of Odama. I can't believe I was dating my girlfriend at the time, and I can't believe she stuck with me when she saw me playing that game.
I mean, as you guys know, there's a whole. I go to arcades full of games people have forgotten. Yep. I can name 350 upright arcade machines. It's too wide of a topic.
Image Fight.
Everything's great.
Image Fight's wonderful. No, not everything, but Image
Dope
Fight.
arcade game is the Alien Brawler, the 2D.
That is really good.
Brawler.
You are so right.
It is.
That's
good.
but it was really late. It was Capcom, right?
I think Capcom made
it. It was
yes.
really, really late. It was one of the final sort of in that arcade area, the very tail end of when people were making those 2D brawlers. And so
just Alien or is it Alien vs Predator?
I think it's just Alien.
It's just
Alien. It brought all their skill to bear with all these interesting playable characters and interesting combos. And
it's so
what we should do is
gorgeous.
Revisit this topic with restrictions on it.
Yeah.
Era or console or contemporary games.
Or just give me 90 minutes. That'll work too.
Yeah. Or just start a spin-off show.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, is it Toast?
Toast from
Sorry,
Gainesville, Florida.
we had a discussion. Didn't give you guys any game
okay.
suggestions to go play, but it's
What are you
hard for us.
talking about? We just gave so much.
Waka Waka 8,
Don't go
Image
play
Fight.
Odama. Don't do it.
I like Odama.
Everyone should play Space Chem though.
Well, yeah, that's a good one. I was going to suggest maybe the Disgaea series.
Oh, that's a great
Another turn-based
suggestion.
strategy
Yeah.
series. Very highly rated, but I don't think a lot of people play those games. And
I
those
thought
are some
about
of my favorite games.
I thought about getting Disgaea 5. This is how I've become the gamer that like is a problem for like is NIS still making those games? Or like
Yeah.
I'm like I was surprised it was $60.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And like I know it's like a full price, like I know it's like a legit
There's
full
a
game.
ton of content in that game.
No. I'm not knocking. I'm just saying, like to me, my expectation is a game like that's like $40, even though that's
Wow.
not necessarily
So
fair.
that's a good topic we should visit sometime. Is like school me on like series I've never played. Like, what's the first game to play in that? Because I was just asking about Harvest Moon. Like, I have no idea where to start. I've always wanted to play a Harvest Moon.
Friends of
game.
Mineral Town.
Yeah, I think Justin's right about Friends of Mineral Town.
That's a good one. School me in.
Yeah,
whatever.
school. Yeah, exactly.
School me in Street Fighter.
Where to start? Like, is it? Well, the question is it safe to start with the newest one? Like, Disgaea 5's out. Is it safe to start here? Is there some reason, either gameplay or story, that you need to jump back and?
So
play?
which this guy?
No, it's a lot of fun.
You either need to start with 1 or 5.
I think
Yeah.
5 is probably the.
Oh, okay.
Because
Let's go right
you can
in.
play. It'd be harder to find a really good version of 1, I think.
Well, and the other thing is, if
That's
you go,
always a problem,
if
right?
you go
If
back
it's
to
not
1,
accessible.
if you go back to 1, you're basically committed to playing all of them, and then there's a few like 3's kind of crap. So it's like, wow.
I mean, crap is in quotes.
I mean, it's
still
by
like
far-
a
it's by far
totally
the worst
good.
one.
Yeah, but it's like for a great series, it's like the worst one is good.
Yeah.
Anyway.